You ever wonder if the biggest breakthroughs in medicine are being held back not by a lack of science, but by, well, a broken system? Today, we're digging into a huge global promise, led by the World Health Organization, to completely overhaul how we do clinical trials, for the benefit of all of us. Let's get right into it.
And that's really the core question here. We pour so much money, time, and hope into finding new treatments and cures, but are we actually maximizing that investment? Well, according to global health leaders, the answer is not even close.
And here's the thing. Clinical trials are supposed to be our gold standard for medical evidence, but they often have these massive blind spots. A lot of the time, they're totally disconnected from what communities actually need. They frequently don't have diverse participants, which means the results might not even apply to everyone. And even worse, so much valuable data gets kept under lock and key, resources get wasted, and results, especially the ones that show a treatment didn't work, never see the light of day. Which means other scientists might be out there repeating the exact same mistakes.
But what if we could actually fix this? That's the whole idea behind this new coordinated global response. It's a promise to build a clinical trial system that's smarter, more effective, and a whole lot more fair.
So on September 25th, 2025, the World Health Organization got some of the world's biggest research funders all in one room. And believe me, this was not just another meeting. This was the launch of a unified plan to fix these problems right at the source, the money. They're changing how research actually gets funded in the first place.
What came out of it is called the 2025 Joint Statement on Strengthening Clinical Trials. And this isn't just a list of nice ideas. It's a real commitment from the organizations that hold the purse strings to change their own rules. They're making sure the trials they pay for are way more effective, equitable, and open.
So, how are they going to do it? Well, the whole commitment really boils down to three core pillars. It's a three-point plan designed to totally transform medical research.
All right, let's break it down. First up, pillar number 1.
This first one is all about making research relevant. It's a direct shot at that problem of trials being disconnected from reality. The goal here is to make sure that the research is answering questions that actually matter to the people it's supposed to be helping.
And here's the game plan. From now on, funders are going to require that trials line up with local health priorities, not just some global trend. They're going to make it mandatory to engage with patients and communities early and often. And this is huge. Instead of creating these temporary research projects, the plan is to build on the healthcare systems that are already there, which helps create lasting local expertise.
Okay, that brings us to pillar number 2. And this is really where the quality control kicks in.
This pillar is all about scientific rigor and making sure the quality is baked in from the very beginning. Making sure that every single trial that gets funded is built on a rock-solid foundation.
And check out how specific they're getting. Researchers can't just propose a trial anymore. They literally have to prove that a research gap exists using hard evidence. They have to show a clear plan for how they're going to include all the different groups of people the treatment is for. And critically, they have to submit a data management plan right up front, spelling out exactly how that data will be handled and shared.
And that leads us to the third and final pillar, which honestly might just be the biggest game changer of them all.
Yeah, this is arguably the most transformative piece of the puzzle, making the entire research process, start to finish, transparent and accountable to everybody. It's about ending this whole practice of science happening behind closed doors.
And the rules here are super concrete. Every single trial has to be registered in a public database before it even starts. All the results, and I mean all of them, whether they're good, bad, or just inconclusive, have to be published within 1 year of the trial finishing. And finally, researchers will be required to share the anonymous patient data in a public repository so other scientists can double-check the work and even run new analyses.
Now, you might be thinking this is just a WHO thing, but it's not. This statement is backed by a really powerful global alliance of funders, so let's hear what a few of them have to say about this whole commitment.
So you've got Dr. Pramod Joshi from the Nepal Health Research Council, and he's really hitting on that idea of collaboration. He's pointing out that when countries work together, they can solve these big, shared problems and turn research into real health improvements for people. Then there's Dr. John Arne Rotzingen from the Wellcome Trust, a huge global funder, and he's connecting the dots between how a trial is designed and actual fairness. He's basically saying that if you want health equity, the research has to reflect the real diversity of the people it's supposed to help. It's just that simple.
And Dr. Paul Hebert from Canada's Institutes of Health Research really zeroes in on the issue of trust. He makes it crystal clear that bringing patients and communities into the process isn't just some nice to have. It's absolutely essential if you want to build the trust you need for the research to actually have an impact.
And look, these voices are just a tiny snapshot. The full list of organizations that signed on spans the entire globe, from South Africa to Australia, from France to major groups that focus on Europe-Africa collaboration. This really is a global movement.
So we have a powerful promise and a huge global alliance. But how do we make sure this promise actually turns into reality? Well, they've actually built a clear path for accountability right into the plan.
Yeah, this wasn't just about signing a piece of paper and walking away. The people who signed on have agreed to measure their own progress, to hold themselves and each other accountable for turning these big promises into real action.
So here's how it's going to play out. The statement was signed in September 2025. Now for the really crucial next step. Within 6 months, the group is going to develop high-level, measurable indicators. Think of it as a report card. It's the yardstick they're going to use to track whether all these funders are actually putting these changes into practice.
So the commitments are on paper. The plan for accountability is in motion. All the pieces seem to be in place for a really fundamental shift in how we approach medical discovery. Which leaves us with the ultimate question. Will this finally be the turning point we've been waiting for? A new era of global health research that's more effective, more equitable, and more transparent for everyone?